Summer means picnic season to me, and I don't know why, but what is more iconic at a picnic than a perfect deviled egg? There are so many awesome things you can do with deviled eggs, and you can really add anything you want into that mixture. So today I'm bringing you 3 of my favorite deviled eggs. I am making one base recipe, and then I'm gonna switch it up, break it into 3, and show you different ways that you can variate it. But don't worry, each recipe I give you is gonna be for a full amount, so you can choose which one you wanna make or make in abundance and have all 3 together. These 3 are my favorite. A really simple basil, one that is just the standard but so good, and an avocado with a twist of cilantro. The base recipe for any of these is just to cook the eggs first. Put some eggs right into your kettle and then put cold water right on top. Put it on the stove, bring it to a simmer, and then I like to turn my stove all the way down to the lowest setting on that heat gauge, put the lid on, and leave them on there for a few minutes. Once it's done, remove them from the heat, let them cool down just a little bit in the pan, take to the sink, pour off the hot water, and then just rinse them in cold water. Let them rinse for a little bit. You can pour it off in between if you need to and add more cold water until they come down and stop cooking. That's the most important part. You want to stop that cooking process. Once they're cool enough to handle, put them in a bowl and put them in the fridge. I like to chill mine before I crack them. There are so many methods to hard cooking eggs, so if you have one that works for you, go for it. Once they're cool, just break them completely all over on the counter just with little taps. This will create little cracks all over, and for me, it makes it a lot easier to peel. And then under a little bit of cool water, I just like to slowly peel the egg and let that water work under the shell as you're peeling. Once they're all peeled, you can just bring them over and start cutting them in half. This can kind of be a little tedious, you have to be a little careful, and sometimes the yolks just do not work out perfectly for you. So if they're off center, you may have to just do a couple extra eggs. Take the yolks out really carefully and put them right into a large bowl. If you find that your egg whites are a little dirty when you're taking out the yolk, you can always wipe them off or just rinse them lightly and let them dry. I like to first mash my yolks before I add anything to them just to kind of break them down and help to have a little bit more smooth finish. You can use a mixer or a food processor if you want, but I kind of like doing it by hand and it gives it just a little bit of texture, which I really like. Once they're mashed together, I just start adding everything I like for my base recipe. A little bit of sour cream, a little bit of mayonnaise. Just stir that together till it's really smooth. Then I always add a little bit of lemon juice. This just really brings out some flavors, brightens it up, and adds just a little bit of tang. Once that's mixed in, I'm gonna break this into 3 different bowls so I can give you all the different recipes. For the first one, I don't think it could be any easier than this. I'm just adding some classic basil pesto to this. If you don't have a pesto recipe you love, make sure to watch mine. It is delicious and simple. Add the pesto right in, stir it together. You can of course taste it to see if you need to adjust the salt and pepper. But then you can just put them right into the waiting egg whites. Once those are filled, I'm just gonna do my wonderful standard. Just take that base recipe, add a little bit of Dijon mustard to it, or whatever your favorite type of mustard is, and salt and pepper to taste. I don't think it could be any more simple than that, but it doesn't really need to be. It's just the classic, most wonderful recipe. For mine, I like to spice it up just a little bit because I'm never happy with just normal, with smoked paprika. Paprika on a deviled egg, that's about as standard as you can get, and I love how old school that is. But I kind of updated a little bit with the smoked paprika. Once you have that stirred in, you can just put those right into the waiting egg whites. The last one is one of my favorites. Mash up some avocado. Make sure it's a ripe avocado because it's gonna mash a lot easier. Spoon that mashed avocado right into your base recipe. Then chop up a little bit of a hot pepper. I like to use a little serrano pepper. Take out the seeds if you're scared of the heat. Dice it up really fine. And then add that. And then to finish it, a little bit of minced cilantro. It's kind of a quick little guacamole in there, but it's a little bit different and it's so delicious. Again, salt and pepper to taste if you need to, and stir that together. Spoon that right into your egg whites, and that is the 3 deviled eggs that I love. I like to garnish these just so people know what they're eating. So put a piece of cilantro on the avocado one, put some smoked paprika right on top of that standard, and then a few pine nuts on top of the pesto. And you are done. They look delicious, people know which one is which, and you are gonna love these. If you agree, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you're up to date on all of our videos. I love to hear from you guys on Facebook and see you share my videos around and talk about how you're making these recipes. So show me your pictures on Instagram, and I can't wait to hear about your favorite picnic deviled eggs.